Welcome back to another episode of the City Podcast, episode 191, I think? Sure, let's go with that. 191. We are your hosts. I'm Tony, and I'm here with...
Your boy, Eric.
Hate that boy.
And of course, the radio waves, Mr.
Roman.
Mark somewhere? Somewhere?
He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Rom, how you been?
Same as always, man. Just working and trying to get through this fucking math class, and
Getting your study
that's
on?
about all I've been doing. Yeah, other than like finding a good conspiracy that I think y'all will like.
Conspiracy.
There's been tons of conspiracies. I've been...
Yeah, I don't give a shit about conspiracies, but everybody else is like, oh my god, this fucking have you heard this? And all this other shit. So I know y'all are gay for them, so.
Hey.
So I just found one for you.
It depends on the conspiracy. It depends on it
Whatever
because
I
like anime conspiracy, and it's mostly just anime people thinking of what's gonna come in the future or what the writer's trying to say, right? So there's not much to it other than, okay, we really all enjoy this one anime, and we're dissecting everything to it. See, like trying to find the subliminal messages that the writer fucking says, or the meaning to like the extra stuff he says. But life conspiracies, I don't know. Like the government conspiracies either. I'm not really like, oh my god, it's happening. But
I don't care for them.
Since this last week, the government has said that aliens are real, or UFOs at least have been spotted. You know what I mean? And not many people have been paying attention or said anything about it other than, I can't believe we're not talking about it kind of deal. So I started thinking that, boy, if aliens is real, what else can be real? You know what I mean? It kind of opens up this veil that we had on the unknown.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's a trash way of thinking.
True. But,
Open up a veil? What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, curtain. Pulling back the curtain that the government covers.
I don't think that was really like...
Yeah.
Well,
Pulling back that silk curtain.
Pulling apart those beads. Those 70s beads.
Like, if they prove that aliens are real,
those
right?
anal beads.
Hell yeah. Pull them hard.
This is my way of thinking. If they prove that aliens are real, like, even if they're like 100% aliens are real, here's the proof, that kind of opens the door to thinking other things are real. And I'm not thinking of like magic and shit, but like Atlantis.
But I know you are, and that's the sad part, is that you can lie all you want, but we all know you're thinking like, oh my god, they have proof of magic.
Oh, I mean, that was even before anything. I always thought magic was real.
Just say magic isn't real, though.
But now you're thinking, oh my god, they have proof and they're keeping it away from us. That's what you're thinking.
No, because I've seen proof of magic, but it's more of like creatures and mystical stuff. I don't know if it exactly falls into like, I don't know, motherfuckers doing like fireballs out of your hand or controlling water or some shit. But I've talked to enough curanderas and so-called witches that I kind of believe magic is real, But them saying UFOs are real, I kind of believe now that Atlantis is real, the City of Gold, things that there were myth and legends, but they're like, oh no, it's really there in history. The Sasquatch, so Bigfoot is real, even maybe Loch Ness monsters, but Loch Ness could just be a living dinosaur that never died.
I don't know about never died, but learned to survive, and it's
still alive.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing. It could be like an offspring of it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's nothing that lives fucking years.
Who knows? Who knows how long the fucking dinosaur survived if it wasn't for the meteors?
Probably
was it
not
plural?
that long.
Was it one?
Meteor.
Meteor?
Yes, one.
One? So.
Unless they say it was one. Probably broke up into a bunch of them. I don't know.
So we don't know how long dinosaurs could have lived.
Yeah, you got your fucking turtles. They live like 100 and something years. Nothing older than that.
Wasn't there a fucking turtle like 200 and something?
Yeah, but not billions of years. Nothing lasts.
But that's I'm saying that turtles are like what? Maybe a couple evolutions and generations of other animals.
Tortoises. We're thinking tortoises.
No. Now you're doing two different things now.
What's that?
You're talking about like evolution evolutionary steps, or are you talking about like a lifespan of one single like
Yeah,
organism?
Sony's thinking like a
So
lifespan of one single thing.
You have a computer. What's the oldest tortoise and turtle that's lived, Roman, or the oldest animal? It has to be past 100 years.
I think it's like two.
Last time
I think so.
I think I checked it. Last time it was like 200 and something years.
Oldest living animal. All right. So there is from MSNBC, or I'm sorry, MSN.com. 50 longest living animals in the world. This was published. Doesn't give a date in which it was published, but
It was probably like 2000.
yeah, show me the fuck.
Early 2000, like 2006, 2008.
All right. So for some reason, it goes in order. What kind of bullshit is this? So hold on, it's gonna take me a while to get to number one, which I assume would be the oldest.
Well, what's it giving you though? Is it mostly reptilian? Is it mammal? Is it?
No, it's mostly mammals. Like, I mean, I stopped at 21 right now. It's the fin whale. Oldest recorded is 114 years old.
So I mean, that's number 14 is already 114. So I'm guessing by the time it gets to one, it's gonna be like close to 200, 200.
Do you want to hear the top 10, or do you want me to stop or where do you want me to start?
Give me top 5. Give me top 5.
Top 5. All right. Let's see.
Like, but if a Loch Ness monster is just something's offspring, how does it duplicate itself? Like, if there's like that means it has to be more than one.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know. Maybe it was like maybe it's like Godzilla. It's asexual.
Maybe self-replicating.
Oh shit! I never thought that. Maybe there's a fucking island of big monsters that could be real.
No.
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 You don't think there's a
No.
somewhere in the Congo the fucking?
Most likely not. No.
No.
Again, you see, this is what you do. You latch onto these fucking things that are so far-fetched. You're like, yeah, it's possible.
I mean,
but
fuck, think
in
about
all
it,
honesty,
dude.
the possibility
Aliens
is very, very, very slim.
Aliens are supposed to be far-fetched, and there's a percentage of that's true
Why
now.
did you say it was supposed to be far-fetched? Who made you think it was supposed to be far-fetched?
The world?
What do you? Why?
How is it that aliens could exist and that's okay? That's like alright, it happened.
That's dumb.
But
It's
big
like,
monsters
it's
can't.
like asking how is it that we could exist? They just do.
But big monsters can't. Huge fucking.
No, because you would see those big monsters.
No,
How will we see it?
They're
I'm not-
big.
People have spotted these things before to say, hey, they exist, but we haven't seen them because we don't travel the fucking world.
No, but what you're talking about is a bunch of people that are that have no proof.
Yeah.
All they have is like these shitty out of focus, photos that
and then
really
a bunch
could
of
be
them,
anything.
And then a bunch of them came out to be hoaxes.
It could
too.
be that shock.
Alright, but that's the
they're
stuff.
eating on their fucking camera.
That's the stuff that didn't get it covered. There's always the real shit that could have gotten covered. Like for the fucking longest
fuck you
time,
talking about?
like government cover-ups. They cover up.
Government
Like if
cover-ups.
someone had like real proof, a real picture that there's a giant fucking dinosaur lizard running around, right? And they're like, "Oh, post it in the fucking newspaper, make it real shit." The government be like, "Nah, man, let's cover that up. It never happened." Like fucking, you know how many people have said that they have pictures of UFOs and they was like, "Nah, it's not real."
It's not.
But now it turns out it could be that the government said yes. That there is a video of the Navy. I'm just saying.
Did you even see the video?
Yeah, it was some dude talking. It sounded like they were in a fucking Navy boat. And they're like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Okay."
They sound far-fetched.
Right?
Well, the thing is that particular video was released a few years even before now.
Yeah.
Seems like people are just latching onto this.
But didn't
there's a
difference is
podcast with Joe Rogan where the I guess the pilot that came out and really started saying a lot about it. He was on Joe Rogan. He talked about that video. They even brought up that video.
Yeah, and even
apparently,
wasn't there
I
a
think
doctor that said
it was like 2004, something like that.
Wasn't there a doctor that said that he's seen aliens too in one of the facilities somewhere on the Joe Rogan podcast?
No, he didn't say that there was aliens. He said that he was working on alien technology. They were trying to like retro engineer like what they were doing, like the propulsion system and things like that. He said he had never seen anything. He said that he was working it from all like that particular guy that was talking about, like he's a scientist. He was like working on retro engineering like their propulsion system and kind of things like that. But he said, like, yeah, we have this technology, but as far as actual aliens, I've never seen one. So he's never seen one. But yeah, through the fact that they do have some form of different technology, then yeah, that kind of gives credence to like there may have been visitors, but whether or not there's like we have bodies or anything like that, like from Roswell and shit like that, is kind of far fetched.
Okay. So,
Now,
because the government says these things are real, I'm gonna believe they're Bigfoot's real or Sasquatch, mountain yetis.
Yeah, but they've proved that like all the fucking things were fake. Like everything that you've seen about Bigfoot is pretty much fake.
Well, that's what they want you to believe. That was the cover.
God. You see, this is why I hate conspiracies. Is because it's never anything backed up.
It's all hearsay.
Always like. It's all hearsay. It's always like, but that's what they want you to believe, and that's the ultimate answer to whoever believes a conspiracy.
Well, I mean,
it's fucking, it's that's what they want you to believe, right? Yeah, that's what I thought, and they think that that's a fucking argument. Who gives a shit about that? I want actual proof of this kind of stuff.
I'm not gonna say that they don't exist. It's just that so far what you've been given is all fake. It's all people plastering something else that they made out of something else.
I'll say that, like, I believe aliens are more likely.
And most of the time, it's like fucking like hicks and like they spend their time alone and just want some attention.
Half the time, it's scientists and people who
what are you talking about? Half the time,
like
it's scientists.
The alien stuff. Let me talk.
Go.
All right. There's been scientists and there's been people that work for the government that said aliens are real. It's not the first time. They've worked in facilities. They've seen things. There's been military people to be like, yeah, we've seen things in the sky and we can't explain them, but we can't talk about them because they get in trouble if they speak about it. The people that hunt for the Yetis and the fucking Bigfoot and the Loch Ness numbers have been educated people that go and hunt for these things.
They go hunt for them, but every time they find their clues, it's from someone who's not a doctor. It's some shut-in from the mountain.
If you read these reports and see these videos and see these shows, they always come up with the end is like, well, there is something out there. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying, the fuck is your point?
That it could be real now. That there is proof.
No, that wasn't your point. Your point was like, there's a big-ass fucking dinosaur out there.
No, my point is that the stuff that they say is fake could turn out to be real now.
No, that stuff is fake.
And the government has just been covering it up. As easy as people be like, oh man, make it look like it's fake, so people won't believe.
Make it look like it's fake.
Yeah, man. You know how easy it is to be like, oh, this is plaster. Tell the world it was a plastic.
Exactly.
Tell the world that it was fake. How is it? It's so much easier to believe that shit is not real and fake than to believe it's real. And it's much easier to convince people that shit is fake to convince them that things exist. Because if they give you proof and they go, this exists, it scares people. And it opens doors to believing other shit exists. It'll make the world, go search for these things. And they don't want people searching for this shit. So they'd rather keep them dumb and quiet than letting them believe. It's a lot easier that way. But if the government, I can't say the president because our president.
It's fucking stupid. Shut up.
I'm just saying.
Shut up.
If the government's saying shit is real, are you gonna believe it?
I don't care.
Is that proof enough?
I don't care. Yeah, it's real. So what? It's always been real. I told you Atlantis is real because fucking the Sahara, and then you're going through Plato's fucking thing. It just happens to look the same.
But where's the proof?
They just fucking showed you the proof.
No, they didn't. They speculate. It was theory. All the stuff you showed me, you told me to look at it, was theory. There was no proof that, okay, this is Atlantis. They think that's where it was.
What do you consider proof? Are you going with words from
some
Plato
artifact
and the other guy and then the
Atlantis.
fact that it's there?
some artifacts, something, statues, writing. Atlantis was a cultural place. There is proof that it was there if you look for it.
Shut up.
But all this
Shut
shit
up.
was that you showed me was theories.
Shut up. It's
without
not.
proofs. It's just people speculating, oh,
That's-
it's gonna be here. And then none of them are like...
The
oh,
eye's right there! And they've dug onto it! And they've seen hieroglyphs on it!
Hieroglyphs...
Shut up, Tony. Shut up. Whatever. Fucking the city started opening up
see,
again.
this is where you can't have a conversation because you get
You're
annoyed
dumb,
so
you're dumb.
easy.
You're annoying.
Why am I dumb? How is it me trying to ask these questions makes you mad?
Because you don't know how to ask them. Right, Roman? Yeah, he tuned out. Fucking Roman's dead.
No.
He killed Roman.
No. No, the whole thing is that like a majority of people want proof. The thing is that there's so many ways to fake that kind of thing. Like, there just is. So people just tend to dismiss it. Like I do. I tend to dismiss a lot of that shit because there's nothing factual. It all seems like opinions. That's why like the whole Bigfoot thing I think is bullshit. Because at this point, even though, like, where do they say it? They say it's like the northwest, like the northwest, so like Washington, Oregon, that kind of thing. Those lands are pretty fucking settled. There's dense forest. That is true. That there is like parts of dense forest, but I don't know if there was a Bigfoot. I think it'd be in like a less populated area, because maybe it just wants to stay hidden, whatever. It wants its own way of life, whatever. But even that in itself is like we're trying to apply human logic to something that people say isn't even human. You know what I mean?
It's an animal.
Yeah, it's just an animal, and we can't think like other animals. We can only think like humans. So like if applying like the human logic, I don't know, Bigfoot is more than likely, or something that's more akin to Bigfoot is probably like in the Amazon, where it's densely forest. You know what I mean? It's just dense vegetation.
But all that hair.
But yeah, then again, like I don't care. I have no interest in like Bigfoot and all that. I did when I was a kid. And then I kind of grew up and realized like everything that I had seen before was bullshit. Like it was all fake.
Oh man, you guys.
So I was like, oh okay. So now that what I took as fact at that point was actually nothing. It was nonsense.
You guys lost your imagination, your beliefs.
Not at all. Like my imagination just went into other things. Like I don't see how you're equating like imagination with believing.
Yeah, choose either
anything.
it's imagination or belief.
I mean, until it's real, you could imagine it's real.
Fucking stupid. God.
Is it? My bad. Am I choosing the wrong words for this? Like
No,
you trying
I
to believe that it's real. That's your imagination going. Yes, this exists out there, but there's no proof to say it's real. So you're using your imagination to see what this thing might look like. You speculate what it looks like. You said, oh man, this is a fucking Yeti with all that hair. He can't live in the fucking Congo or in the jungle because it's too hairy. But fucking gorillas live there and they're hairy as fuck too.
They're not that hairy.
Alright? There's animals that live with fucking fur.
Short fur.
Right? But you're imagining with long hair. What happens if the Yetis just has short hair? It's just white.
That's a Yeti.
Yetis are fucking Bigfoot.
Why would something white live in the jungle if it gets spotted?
That's what I'm saying. You're using your imagination to think this is how it looks like. What happens if the fucking Yeti is just a big old fucking monkey? Have you ever thought they change its color? Same thing. Big old fucking huge mammal-looking thing.
Monkeys can't change color.
In your head, fool.
Yeah,
how
but
you
like,
imagine the Yeti to look like. How Bigfoot looks like to you in your head. How hard is it to change its fur color? Instead of living in the snow mountains, he lives hidden in the jungle. In the middle of where we haven't touched. Which society hasn't touched.
Nah, because you still have the pygmies there.
Alright, maybe the pygmies know about it. And they treat it as a god. A protector.
Probably.
I'm just saying, imagination comes with theories. because that's what lets you believe that's real. You make this thing up in your head, and you're like, oh, okay, and maybe you're like, you love it so much, you go and you try to look for it. You get a fucking degree in science so you could cross the jungle and the land and know what the hell you're dealing with. So you're getting thrived by your imagination because nothing is real and it hasn't been proved. You could be the guy that you're going to prove it. So you do all this stuff and it's being fueled by your imagination that it's real. And this is the stuff you're using to hunt it, but you don't know how it looks like. It's theories and speculations from the people that you heard.
Yeah, but wouldn't like your imagination, like as you put it, your like imagination running too rampant can be a detriment to what you're trying to do?
That's a possibility. Yeah, you go too
because
crazy
like
with it.
now you're just because now
you're looking for a fucking predator that changes
to justify why you haven't seen it like that. You know what I mean? So then you're automatically changing it. Oh, it's this, and then it's this, and then it's this, and then it's this. So you're just constantly changing it because it doesn't fit your narrative, and that's the problem with a lot of these things.
That's a lot of failure.
That they already have a set narrative. They have instead of this thing could possibly be real, let me try to prove it. They already believe that it's real and try to prove it.
True. But then again, a lot of treasure hunters and a lot of people that hunt things have said that like 90% of them fail. It's only 10% that actually find what they're looking for.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they get frustrated and they give up.
Like I don't know. There's I was gonna say nothing is out of the realm of possibility, but like dinosaurs are pretty out of the realm of things that could be around. Could there be a Bigfoot like kind of thing? Possibly. Could there be
say dinosaurs are like out of the realm?
I mean, dinosaurs are real. They've been proven by
it's
the
just
bone.
like
they're real, but I mean like now.
Oh, like walking around? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like walking around. Like that's the whole thing. It's just like, because a lot of these things stem from now. Like, could there have been a Bigfoot, back before, humans, like, really took over?
What are you talking about, like Thunderbirds?
Yeah. So, like
those big-ass eagles that are, like, spread and have a wingspan of, like, 20 feet?
Exactly. Like, all these things, like, could or they did exist at one point, but now they've just like died off.
What about places like Atlantis and El Dorado and
I've never really believed in like those kinds of things. Like as cool as it may have sounded, like the thing is, like, again, all of these things like intrigued me as a kid because I would watch a whole bunch of TV that was centered around that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'd watch History Channel, and there was that. What was that fucking Leonard Nimoy show on History Channel? Let me look it up real quick.
History Channel. I mean, okay. Let me ask one final question because Eric's getting annoyed. You should see the look in his face, Roman. He's just like, stop already. Say now that aliens are 100% real. What do you guys want to be real? Like, what do you want the government to say, oh, this is real, here's your proof? What would you be like, oh man, that's fucking amazing, that's great? Like, I'd be pretty cool if they could prove that mermaids are real. Not that far-fetched of an idea.
I don't know. Like, we have two very different points of view of far-fetched.
True. What's the next thing you want the government to say? Guys, you were right. This is real. We just covered it up.
Obviously, time travel.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
I think if time travel was a thing, they probably would have used it to a better effect than what we have now. Or you would like to hope, at least.
Maybe we could go with the whole looter movie thing, where there's a price to pay for time travel, and only certain people could do it because it fucks with the time stream.
Yeah.
How close do you think we're into like warp drives?
Very far.
You think so?
Very, 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 very far.
I mean, we're starting to get to the self-driving car. Maybe next thing is be the flying car.
We have to break the speed of light, which we're not even fucking close.
Hey, with the Space Force that's being built, maybe? Who the fuck knows? I mean, Space Force is a real thing.
Again, I think that this could all be possible in the future.
I don't think they have anything
but in our lifetime, no.
Anything that has enough...
Not in our lifetime, unfortunately.
Generates enough energy to push what has to be pushed without it blowing up.
All right, so I want mermaids to be real. Eric wants time travel to be real. What do you want, Roman?
I want
A
the.
person actually loves them.
Oh no, that's far fetched.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. The far-flung future of Warhammer 40,000. I want to be a space marine.
A space marine?
There you go.
But isn't that what the SpaceX is?
Not
I think
really.
it means like people with like the.
Oh,
armor.
you want the whole armor suit thing?
Yeah, I want to be a fucking Terminator, bro.
Oh, all right, we talking.
They already have that, don't they? Those exo suits.
No, but like a Terminator is like basically like you're in a walking tank.
Yeah, he's like Gundam. Think Gundam.
Yeah, they have those.
Not that scale.
They're working on it.
I know they're working
Showing
on it. I know the Space Marine's a thing now. It's the Space Force is actual thing. It's something the government created.
But
Either that or cloning.
There's no real what?
Either that or like cloning, like proper cloning with the whatchamacallit,
You mean human cloning? Because there's already animal cloning.
like
Yeah.
whatchamacallit, a way to get your conscience to switch over. But then again, after you get old, you go all Alzheimer-y.
Oh, you want body switching to be real?
Not body.
Where you get old enough, there's your younger body, and you jump your mind into it, your conscience.
Pretty much.
Because your brain eventually turns into mush. That's the problem
From
with
time to
that.
time, yeah.
Is that your brain is still like still living tissue. So eventually, it just
Well, I'm
decays.
not saying brain. I'm saying kind of like what they did, like with
Matrix.
Chappie,
Or Chappie.
where they find a way to keep your consciousness going, even in like a
So they download you.
non-organic body.
All your memories are in a cloud, and they just put it into your body.
Okay, got you. You want like you want your mind to be uploaded to to machine consciousness.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll be all right with that.
So do you want your memories and your like humanity? Does that count with the soul?
No.
No. So you don't care about doing right and wrong.
No.
You just want to look at this who Eric was. This is the memories.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But then then that's the age-old question: is that really you, or is that just like a memory of you?
I would think that would be like really you, because you remember it, you have it, and then you just add on to that memory. It's like a hard drive that has no capacity.
Yeah, but you don't know. Like they could say, just like everything else, they could say it's perfect. But what if they do lose one memory? That one memory.
It could be all Total Recall. They put fake memories in your head to control you.
Yeah, I'm alright with that.
They could do that, but I'm just saying, even if they had no ill intentions, which is probably fucking false there.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's always going to be some evil, or
there's always malice.
No, I wouldn't say malice. There's always an unknown to you. There's always a possibility that someone can use whatever for a bad intention somewhere down the line.
Like malice to me.
Which is more than likely, with MK Ultra and all these kinds of things, trying to in the past people have tried to do this kind of thing, make a Manchurian candidate kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean we're a couple of years away from walking AIs and people being cyborgs.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think AI is a little farther. I think we're on the way for an AI to be a thing, but it's still going to be quite far away.
I think we're already in AI. It's just dumbed down AI. It's more like, since they say we can't have people as slaves, let's make machine slaves and just deal with that.
I mean, the stuff coming out of Japan is fucking pretty spot on to being walking AIs, man. The skin suits made out of that polyester, not polyester, that fucking genetic gel. And now they put in the AI in there and it greets you and shit. I'm saying it's pretty close.
I still think it's just a program thing, because that's the whole thing. Is true AI is supposed to be it has a will of its own.
And then
and as of right now, there is no such thing.
How about you give me cyborgs? We're close to being half human, half machines. The way the body modifications keep going, where a guy could have.
the way that people are with with putting like a chip in you. People are like, "Fuck you! I don't even want a chip in me." Kind of. How many people are gonna want like a robotic like piece on them? I think it'd be cool. Like if I had like a fucking robot. If I had robot eyes, you know what I mean?
You know, that whole chipping humans is gonna come to that if they pay them enough. You'd be surprised what people do for money. And I know that's usually how my conversations come to. And when Mark was here, he's like, "Here we go. This is Tony. Yep. This is how much money is it?" But I'm pretty sure there is like a trial. Be like, come down, get a couple grand, put this chip in your arm. People be like, "All right, fuck it. That's all I have to do." And you check in once a month, see the chip is working. And there's like, what does that chip do for me? He's like, don't worry about it.
It's not rusting and like fucking putting rust into your bloodstream and killing you.
And it's just a way, like...
I think it'd be alright.
It's like your new form of ID. Instead of carrying like IDs in your wallet, they just scan that chip in your arm.
I know a lot of people are scared about that, but I think if we had chips in people, it would make finding dead bodies a whole lot easier. You know how they're like, oh, we can't find this person. All right, well, it's fucking satellite. Check where the chip's going. Boom.
Oh, when they go missing.
And then each time, and everybody has a different placement on the chip. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always in the hand.
But it's that's like the problem is that no matter what, even if for good or for ill, they know where you are.
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
You're just completely like, and for some people, like you don't care or whatever.
Yeah, we're not that far out. I mean, it works on dogs.
No, I mean, what is the biggest downside for letting people know where you're at? Like, what? I never understood why people get so mad about that. It's like, it's not the fucking government's job to know where the fuck I'm at. I was like, nigga, it doesn't matter. They're gonna know because
people just have some people like their privacy.
Yeah, but what's the privacy? It's not. They're not seeing.
No fucking buts. It's just people like their privacy.
Yeah, but that's what I don't understand. What is it that you're not supposed to know that you're going over here? Is it that everybody's hiding that they're having an affair?
No, it's that you don't want anybody to know. Like, your reasons are your own.
I know, but think about it. That we're already fucking under surveillance. If you have the location on your phone, people know where the hell you're going to be.
You have to have it on.
For sure, but the thing is, I can just leave my phone anywhere, or it can get stolen.
So you're gonna tell me, like, how do you feel about it? Like, say you end up eating some shellfish and there's no one around you. If there could be like something in you that'll say, hey,
he's in trouble.
This guy's like has some weird toxins going through his body, alert somebody or alert the ambulance or something like that. Would you want that, or would you rather be okay just dying? Just say you like die in your car or something.
I'm
fine with dying.
Well, I know you hate yourself, but I'm just saying.
No. Like, just like that's just the way.
Don't think about
just the way life goes.
No. You're thinking about yourself. Don't think about yourself. Think about somebody like your nieces. Right, your nieces are at school.
Ate some peanuts like on her way to school or something.
And she's alone, and she goes into a bad reaction. She can't use her cell phone to call help. But that chip goes, oh shit, there's something wrong with this little girl. Send help. Wouldn't you want that instead of her just fucking being bad?
Or you alright with just like, fuck it, we'll find her in like 3 weeks, and then just throw her in the hole?
Well, that's the thing, is like that there's like, that's an extreme.
That is an extreme.
You know what I mean?
It's not
because my extreme, for like the first one that you gave, the first scenario you gave me, was like, oh, okay, I hate myself. Like, yeah, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you give me a thing where it's like my family, which I love a lot. So they're two different extremes. It has to be like for the average person. And the thing is,
but say the government goes, hey man, we're introducing a new program, chip your family. It does this. If we see abnormalities in the body, it's gonna send a wave to call for help. Come and get it. It's free. And you're like, I don't care for it. But you were like, you talk to your family. It's like, you know what? The nieces. Well,
my whole thing is that there's still no guarantee that they're gonna get there in time.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
For whatever reason.
But would you be alright with okay, well, true. They might not get there in time, but at least they know where the body's at.
Or they have.
Would you want to be found, or would you let your family just know that, hey, Roman went missing, we don't know where he's at? Do you want them? My thing is more like closure. You know how all these people are like, no, my baby's there, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, the wish I knew what happened?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be easier just to fucking have the chip and then people find you? None of this, like, let's do search parties, let's see where it's possible that they could be at. Wouldn't it just be easier to be like, oh, okay, well, this is it, dead or alive, we found him.
But here's the thing, is, like, you're thinking too narrowly. Like, you're thinking of this one scenario.
I mean, but I'm
just thinking
but the whole thing is that if they have a chip in you, then as much good can be done. There's an equal possibility of as much bad can be done.
What's the bad?
The bad could be like they didn't fucking test this properly. It's killing people. So
you get poisoned. All right. Other than that,
so the other thing is they do know where you are at all times. So like for some people, that's not a big deal, right? But for a lot of people, it is just because they like their privacy, their intentions are their own.
Yeah, but those people are usually the ones that walk around taking selfies with their phone and dropping the locations on their social media.
No, those are the ones that would get it. Though. Those are the exact ones that would get it.
Yeah, you're thinking more. You're saying the contradiction of what you think. The ones that don't want their privacy are the ones that are like murderers, fucking shut-ins, fucking.
Oh, I thought that were just like the people that want to fight. Is like, oh, the government's tracking them.
No,
and they don't realize that they're being tracked by phone.
The ones that want their privacy are usually the ones that are doing something
bad.
Well, not necessarily bad. They don't like people knowing where they're at, so they could think they have some type of anonymity or something like that. Like, they're like, could I do bad? Maybe, but I don't want people to know whether or not I am or I'm not.
Because I know Roman said that it's easy to leave his phone at home, right? Or you can turn off the location.
Yeah.
But most of the population doesn't. And I'm pretty sure as much as you hate being on social media and as much as you hate having your cell phone, there is going to be maybe a 5% chance that you leave your phone behind.
I think
you're always going to walk with your phone.
I think whether or not Roman has his phone, I think he still be like, fuck, I don't have my phone. So it still makes his day go worse. Mm-hmm. So he could leave his phone, but I don't think he would leave his phone.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's a very small chance that he would leave his phone behind on purpose. Like he's like, I don't want my phone today.
Exactly. Like there's still a possibility. I'm just like, I don't need my phone. Even like, let's say in my room or something.
Then I guess it'd be the same thing as like the quarantine. He just doesn't want people to take away the option.
Yeah,
of him being not found.
For me, it's just I don't want it. Like I don't want anything. I don't want like
these foreign things in your body that don't know what.
Yeah,
what it can do yet.
More of that. I don't want like these.
All right, things. So last what if before we get to your conspiracy theory, they prove that this chip that they put does not kill you. It's not poisonous. It's just like the ones they put in animals. You can live with it as long as you can. You don't feel it, doesn't hurt you. And it does monitor your body. So if you're ever in distress, it sends a beacon and it sends you help. If it gets there in time, cool, you have that percentage of getting help. But if it doesn't, your family will have closure of what happened to Roman. Where is Roman and what happened to Roman? Would you get that chip still?
No.
No,
just because I like like Eric said, I like the option that I can step away from technology when I want.
All right, now to my previous question, would you make your family get it if it does help your nieces and nephews?
Not my decision, so I have no bearing on that.
But would you if your brothers would be like, hey, what do you think, Roman? You think we should do it? What would you say?
He'd just be like, no, it's up to you.
Exactly. It's up to you. It's you. It's your decision with your family. If you choose to get it, then that's on you.
Yeah,
like I have no say in this.
See, me myself, I wouldn't get it, but I don't care about myself. But I would, if my brother and sister, I would egg them. Hey, get it for my nieces and my nephews, because it keeps that much protected on them. And they're like, oh, what do you think is the benefits of them? We tell them, hey man, what happens if shit goes sideways sometimes? And there's a percentage there they could get help. But we at least know what happened.
I'm alright with getting it because we're very irresponsible. And kids get lost. You go to SeaWorld, you lose the baby, fucking can't find it, you gotta look for it. By that time, I don't know, somebody gets molested or drowns or something. you're like, oh fuck, then you feel worse. But if you could get a shortcut and be like, oh fucking, I found them. They're
Dude,
like in this place.
I never
I'm
thought
cool
of
with
that. I would fucking test them on the criminals first. I would chip everybody that ever steps inside of jail.
I don't care about that.
No, but I would. Like, in my head, if I was in a position of power in government,
See,
I would,
that's where people are getting scared.
I would chip these criminals. Because if they ever end up fucking doing something bad and they're like, where were you? Oh, I wasn't there, but you could prove where they were via chip.
I'm alright with that too.
I never thought of... We're thinking about, oh, what if for us, but you could fucking police the shit out of the criminals.
I mean, half the time they're always in jail and they always do something else to go back.
Yeah, but those few that slip through the cracks, that they walk into one jail and a year later they get out. I would chip everybody that walks in. Everybody.
Maybe.
And they don't give them a choice. You go in, you know how you get search when you walk in?
But at the same time, you're thinking if everybody gets it, there's gonna be people that find a way to locate who they're looking for. In that case, it makes like hitmen fucking, their shit easier. But at the same time, hitmen already know where you're going and they send you and shit like that. Yeah. And then say like Pablo Escobar, you fucking keep him there, you know where he's at.
Dude, how would if fucking existed in the 40s, we could actually know what happened to Hitler. Did Hitler really die? Was that his body in the fire?
I would think more like, hey, you have to find out where the Zodiac Killer is at, or see who it was there that you look at their time. Well, no, because then that's timestamps and they didn't have the technology for it. But that's how you do fucking time travel.
I would time travel and mark these motherfuckers.
I would
know what happened.
No, I would time travel just to be there and see it happen. Not take it, but at least I know who was the killer.
I mean, I wouldn't fucking interfere, but just chip them and get out.
Maybe I would interfere. I don't know. Who cares?
No. Interesting. So, anyways, Roman, you said you had a conspiracy that you're thinking about this in the week. What is this conspiracy you had?
Alright, so this conspiracy I had is of my own. Buc-ee's is a Canadian plot to get a hold of America's most powerful state.
Texas?
That's right.
Texas. Mother Texas.
I'm alright with it.
Alright, so this is my thought. Because, alright, so did you know that in the 1920s, like the late 1920s, there was a strategy that the U.S. was planning for called War Plan Red. It was a joint plan from the Army and the Navy to if it ever came down to it, we could take over the UK through Canada.
Through Canada?
Through Canada, yeah.
How
because
so?
Canada is a.
It's part. Was a part, no?
It's part of the British Commonwealth.
Huh. Is that why they got their own money? That weird fucking money?
That's why they have loonies and toonies and shit like that.
That's right. I wasn't sure that it was actually called loonies, but yeah.
Really, that's what the money's called, loonies?
Yeah, loonies, toonies. Yeah. They also have quarters, dimes, and nickels and shit like that.
Yeah.
And they have their colored money that looks like China.
So like the whole thing is that like in 1927 they started this, and then it was approved by the U.S. 3 years later. So like in 1930, it was actually approved as like a possibility. Like this is a plan that we could possibly follow. It was updated 4 years later, and then with World War II in 1939 starting. Like they were like, all right, we should just get rid of this, and they put it on the way back burner. It wasn't made known until it wasn't declassified. The Freedom of Information Act. It wasn't declassified until 1974. All right, so 8 years later, in 1982, in Lake Jackson, Texas, there's a man. There's two, Arch Beaver in quotes. Alpine III and Don Wistet. Right? They made Buc-ee's, both of them. Now, what if I told you that they were actually Canadian citizens, that when they got their what is it called? The citizenship into the US?
The dual citizenship?
They got their dual citizenship. I don't know if you know this, that when you do get your citizenship and you are approved, you have a choice of changing your name. You can. It's one of the things that the U.S. actually offers, that you can change your name free of charge. Like you just apply for it, and they'll grant it to you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
So
my
you mean
whole
to tell
thing
me
is,
my grandma could have changed her name? River Fire?
yeah, exactly. She could have changed to anything she wanted. Yeah,
Hell yeah, Taquache, bro.
but she didn't want. She knows she didn't want to.
That's my grandma, Taquache, bro.
I mean, our mom and dad could have changed their names too.
Go.
So that's my theory. I'm still trying to connect some more red strings.
So your theory is that these guys are from Canada and they made this badass gas station, or let's say one stop, to control Texas in case Canada ever wants to attack us. They're like, we got Texas for you guys.
We got Texas, so that means that we can probably make a pact with Mexico really quickly and just fucking overtake the United States from the north and the south, bro.
We could take out Louisiana and Arizona right next to us. I don't know, was it New Mexico?
That's right.
And we know California will ban because they're like, we want to be Canadian. They're so much cooler than America.
Nah, what if they were just Canadians that found out, hey, there's nothing better than being a Texan?
True. What happens if they live with us too long
and
they're
so they have a defense against Canadians there?
What happens if they're double agents, Roman? They live in Texas so goddamn long, they're like, they start chanting USA with us.
You know what we're going to have to fucking get them? Chips. So they know where they side.
Yeah. Then when we find out that they're, against us, that's when we fucking release the poison that's in every chip.
Ooh.
Maybe.
You think there's cyanide capsules inside the chips?
Oh, for sure. There's gonna be some backup plan to fucking put some fucking weird drug in you to control you or fucking kill you.
Oh, that's another thing too.
Come on.
Nice, okay, man.
I'm alright with that. Fuck it.
See, this is the fun of theories, Roman. Right here. Molding and creating things that could be real. There's a chance to be real, but there's no way to tell the world it's real.
No, but come on. This is all fucking... No, that's where the fun is that knowing that, none of this could be fucking true. And that's where my fun is.
Well, my fun is that there's a chance it could be true. Who knows?
For me, I don't give a shit either way.
We need Erickson to be real time travel so you go back and see the day that this stuff was created or where they were born.
I don't know, TBH, if I had the power of time travel, I would probably molest people.
Good answer.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. You'll have the chip and you'll know where I'll be, so I don't care.
You can release the poison anytime you want.
Yeah. That's the power. You know what? I've been watching too much anime where the power of perviness is pretty strong. He's got to want it enough. And I'm alright with that.
Oh, man. On that fucking note, if
Except for, Marilyn Monroe was actually a fucking slob-ass bitch.
What do you mean slob-ass bitch?
She was a slob fucking bitch.
Dirty?
Gacho's dirty. She would sleep, she would eat in her bed, and she wouldn't throw away the stuff. She just put it under the other side, underneath the sheet.
Most pretty girls are like that. They're lazy
and
weeks dirty.
And weeks of food there. She never cleaned. She would hardly shower. She was just fucking...
I don't know about the shower part.
No, she was...
I'm saying
hygiene was not her thing.
Most fucking pretty girls are dirty, lazy. And they only get pretty when they know they have to get pretty.
Yeah, fucking... I forgot who it was. There was some actor that she was working with, and he was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go fuck her again. I don't think it's worth it. Because that's how bad her place smelled. Shit was rotting. There was 4 weeks of food on her bed.
I don't know if that's though, but if you follow all these cosplayers like I follow, you realize during quarantine, they're like, I guess it's time to clean my house. It's in 30 days.
Probably.
And they're like, oh man, I haven't showered since quarantine. Time to take a shower kind of deal.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's been a while since I got dolled up.
Well, I mean, today was the first day I wore my good pants. In 2 months.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Well, why? Did you go out?
I went to M&I.
The fuck is
to
that?
pick up some pork chops for dinner today.
What's M&I?
Oh, pork chops.
M&I, the fucking butcher place that's in front of your house.
You were so close, he didn't come and say hi.
Nope.
He didn't have a mask, and he
you know quarantine's over, right?
Yeah, I don't believe that shit though.
How long are you gonna give it? Another week?
We ate Chunkies today. When I went to go over there's already like a family on a fucking picnic, staying real close to each other, eating. And I was just like,
yeah, they're probably sneezing in each other's mouths.
Hopefully, I was like, I hope you die, white people. There's a lot of white people. My hate for white people has only grown.
Why?
Don't know. Just don't like them.
You don't like the whites?
I don't know. It's weird. I don't like them, but I like them.
It depends, because I'm pretty sure if a white girl comes up to you and is like, hey, what's up? You're like, I'm in.
I mean, the power of perv doesn't see race.
Anyways,
Call 3 days ago says that was about
hold
it.
on, before we get to the comments, tell us what you guys think about the alien stuff. What theory do you want true? What thing would you like the government to say it's real? Here's your proof, right? Do you care if the aliens are real? If you don't, that's cool. Let us know in the comments. YouTube/Grimworks. You could go into the description. All our social media stuff is going to be there. And now you can send us the email at CityPod. Roman, what's the...
Send it to citypod88@gmail.com. Eric.
citypod88@gmail.com.
Alright, let's get to the comments. Roman, what we got for comments?
We're going to need
Already said it. It's from Call. He said he loved it, and that was about it.
Who?
Oh, it's one of those.
Someone called a Call. I'm assuming it's a bot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sure
Call like C-A-L-L?
I still have C-A-L-L.
Huh.
Call.
Alright.
I still have the 5 longest living animals up, so we can go through that
what are
before
they?
we end this episode. Number 5, the red sea urchin, oldest recorded is 200 years old.
Alright.
Number 4 is a rough-eye rockfish, and goddamn, it's rough on the eyes. It is 205 years old.
Oh, shit.
Alright.
Number 3
How'd
is
they figure it out? Do they do like the trees, cut it in half, and then count the rings?
possibly, or they just carbon date it like they do almost everything else.
Wait, was it like they found it dead or they found it alive?
No, it's a carbon-based life form. They can do carbon dating.
Huh.
Even if it's it's easier if it's fucking dead. I'll be honest, but
they can do that. They can do that with people, right? They just take like scrapes from your bones or something.
That I don't know. I don't know the process, but I do know it is possible.
I think I would look up how to do carbon dating.
No, you can look that up for next episode.
Probably.
Number 3 is the bowhead whale. Oldest recorded is 211 years old.
Oh shit, 211-year-old whale.
It's
I'm seeing
pretty
a lot
ugly.
of water-based creatures here.
Yeah, exactly. They're all fucking water-based. Number 2, a Greenland shark at 392 years old.
Hey,
I ain't even heard of that
way
kind
to
of
go
shark.
for the sharks.
It's a small-looking shark, to be honest with you,
Yeah,
but
probably like a bottom feeder.
still ferocious. And coming in at number 1, the ocean quahog clam. That's right. The Family Guy clam is 507 years old.
Oh shit!
No shit. That's pretty cool.
But I guess those are happening because 1, it's underneath the water. 2, it's a shut-in.
3, it's literally just like some synapses firing, and that's what counts as being alive.
Yeah, that's true. It's like that fucking termite that can live in a volcano or deep underwater in the ice.
Mm-hmm.
It thaws out or it lowers its heart rate super slow, so it never really dies.
Yeah, or that water bear where like there's no telling like what the fuck it is. It's just like some alien.
Yeah, just like a microorganism.
Yeah, it's just like a microorganism.
You know what? That's
like,
what they should fucking find, like that the thing, like Ant-Man, like fucking Hank Pym, Pym particles. That'd be cool if they can make that.
Oh, like a microverse kind of thing.
Yeah. Because that's probably where the aliens are coming from.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like that sounds more plausible.
Right?
That there's like that aliens are just like so small we can't fucking see them.
Probably.
Or they're just like microscopic.
They're
They're like that
subatomic.
fucking that little green one from the Flintstones. No, it is the Great Gazoo.
Oh yeah. Or like the Ben 10 alien, that fucking short one that they call gray matter.
Oh, the super smart one?
Yeah.
And gray matter. Hold on.
But that one could shrink itself.
Oh, it's just small.
Is it?
Yeah. But they're stupid, intelligent.
Mm.
That's how that nigga
I
made
mean-
the Omnitrix.
Fair enough. He looks stupid, but I never really got into Ben 10.
Ben 10 was good. The first one.
This is alright.
There's a couple of like variations of it, but it's good.
The original.
Yeah, I told y'all earlier this week that I got into a show on Netflix actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
You told us you watched it, but you didn't tell us which one was it.
It's called The Midnight Gospel. It's like it's a comedian. His name is Duncan Trussell, and like the episodes are. It's basically you'll like it because it's from the dude that drew Adventure Time.
Oh, it's an animated show.
Pendleton Ward.
Pendleton Ward, yeah. He's like drawn it, and basically it's just like a guy that does a podcast. But what he does is he has this simulation machine, so he goes to different like simulated Earths and like talks to somebody on that Earth.
Oh,
and makes a podcast, and then he like comes back and like uploads it.
It's the fucking dude with like a yellow thing, right? Or it has like one of the things he goes to is like a small round thing with the big ass nose.
I've only seen 3 episodes so far, but it's only like 8 episodes, so I'm not.
I think I saw the trailer to it.
Yeah. It's like a pink dude with like a Gandalf little blue or purple hat.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's honestly it's pretty cool, and it has like some like funny, like I guess psychedelic humor.
Yeah,
I guess is the best way I can
that's
describe it.
I was like, man, it looks a lot like Finn and Jake, except like it looks like some of it looks like a kid drew it, and then that kid took acid and started drawing more shit.
Yeah. Which I've always liked.
And I was just like, oh, I don't know, it looked a little rough to me. But at the same time, I saw, it was Adventure Time, so I was like, I guess it's going to have, like, deep undertone meanings and fucking, I don't know, fucking, like, dark humor.
Apparently the last episode, the whole thing is that Duncan Trussell just does a podcast with people, and he just took, like, snippets of different podcasts with different guests or whatever. And then he makes like a story in which like he basically asked the person to come back, and he would like record lines to make that episode into its own episode. You know what I mean? Something funny out of that. But
so you literally you literally only watch the show that's technically a podcast because you.
But I don't listen to that podcast as a thing.
Yeah, so, I know. I just think it's funny. Like, your podcast heavy, and you don't watch shows, but they made a show about a podcast, so you're like, alright, it just happens to be what it is, and you just happen to like it. Coincidence.
But like, that's the thing, is like, it's a coincidence, because at that point, I didn't know it was like about a podcast, basically. Yeah. I just thought it was just like, oh, okay, he's just gonna do like the simulation thing. Whatever. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds like something I can get into.
That's not bad. It looked interesting enough. But right now I'm just binging. Right now I'm just binging the Community, that Dan Harmon one.
Yeah.
It's like 6 seasons. I'm barely like in the middle of the 3rd season, and goddamn, there's so much meta shit going on there, and that's just like fuck.
Meta shit.
Yeah, it's meta on meta. Like it's hard to explain. But it's funny, and it's like they realize they're in a show and they know it's a show, but they don't think it's a show. They think it's a real life thing. And there's one guy who's like autistic.
That's the dude who did Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
I hate this fucking show.
He's the one who does. Well, that's the cool thing too. They have like Rick and Morty references before Rick and Morty was on there. So I guess technically Rick and Morty had references of Community on there, because I know Pendleton Ward and Dan Harmon did some writing for Community. I think that's where they work together. I might be wrong.
He made his own little universe.
Yeah. And so it's just funny as shit.
But his shit is all try hard, right?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Man. Oh, talking about podcasts and shows. Hey, Sam, if you're still listening, you made it this far. I watched Lore, the first 3 episodes, and that thing fucked me up. It gave me a nightmare. And I don't like... I'd rather keep my fiction shit fiction. I don't want it coming from reality, because they fucked... That one with about Bram Stoker's vampire story, that one messed me up. It gave me a fucking nightmare. I hope you're happy.
There you go.
So I stopped watching it. But I did give it a chance. 3 episodes. And I didn't like it, though. But it's mostly... Yeah, it debunks a lot of fictional stuff, and it ties it to history and natural scientific stuff.
That's why you didn't like it.
In a creepy way. Yeah,
that's why you didn't like it.
I kind of rather believe that.
Your fucking...
I'd rather believe there's vampires on there that you can't stop with, with a stake in the heart, than a disease and people fucking dying in their graves. That seems more scary, morbid.
Good, gay.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's the way I think. Anyway, no emails, right?
No emails.
Alright, well, that's going to be it for this episode of the City Podcast. Thank you for listening to episode 191. We have been your host. I'm Tony, and I'm here with...
Your boy, Eric.
Hate that boy.
And, of course, Mr. Radio Waves himself.
Roman.
There we go.
But, like we say at the end of every episode, bye.
Bye.